Hi, welcome to Destination FBA. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if you're new here, it's great to have you. So I upload regular videos via this YouTube channel just to share my journey, general hints, tips, advice, anything I pick up along the way that might help you as well. Now I do also have a Facebook group which is full of lots of great content and lots of helpful people. So we'll pop a link to this below. Please do feel free to jump in there, join us, share your own journey as well. Now selling on Amazon is great, but like a lot of other things in life, there are downsides as well, and these are quite often not spoke about. So I wanted to go through some of these with you today. I think it's really important you do know about them and you use them to weigh up whether this kind of business is the right thing for you. So firstly, it's not always as easy as you may assume. Now Amazon's often pushed on people as an easy get rich scheme, but in reality it can be quite difficult. If you're not prepared and you don't do your research, you could be in for a huge shock. There is so much competition out there, you need to know exactly what you're doing and whether you can make this work for you. Now realistically, it's going to be at least a few months before you start taking anything out for yourself. So if you go into this thinking you're going to be making thousands of pounds overnight, this really isn't the right business for you because you will be very, very disappointed. Now when you first open an account, you won't be able to sell in every category for a start or in every brand because there will be limitations placed on that account. These restrictions are put in place just to protect the buyers and to make sure there are only legitimate items being sold on the marketplace. Now to get those limitations lifted, you're going to need to go through quite a strict process which is known as ungating. So this means you'll need to purchase 10 identical items and then send the invoice from the manufacturer or the wholesaler to Amazon to try and ungate that category. This means you're going to need to do your research and you're going to need to find some good wholesalers. You cannot use store receipts for this ungating process. You're also going to need to learn all the basics. So you're going to need to know how to analyse a product before you make any purchase, how to create a listing and how to create shipments. Now once you've done these a few times, it'll be like riding a bike, it'll come to you really easy, but you do need to be willing to put in the time and effort just to learn the whole process. Now if you're not wanting to put that time and effort in, this is not the right business for you. So another thing that isn't talked about much is competition. So competition on Amazon can be really tough. Now there's currently over 1.9 million active sellers worldwide on Amazon, so you need to expect to come up against competition from time to time. This is why it's so important to analyse all of those deals before you make any purchases and check all of that historical data as well. You need to know how many other sellers are on the listing, what their stock levels are like, what their price like, and can you compete with them while still making a healthy profit. Now on some items you might be really lucky, you might find that there are a lot of other sellers but they're all happy to stay around the same price, meaning they all get a share of the buy box. Now on the other hand, you may have sellers that are just happy to undercut everybody no matter what their price is. Now that price could drop so drastically that you just can't make any money on it at all. Now bad buys will lose you money. Now another very big problem we could have is not having instant access to our funds. Now once you've made a sale, don't expect to have that money immediately because it can take a while for that to be released. Now generally speaking, it's going to take about 2 weeks from when you've made the sale for Amazon to make that disbursement. Now bear this in mind when you're working out your cash flow. If you send in all your goods, they sell instantly, you've got no more money to reinvest, you could be 2 weeks without any stock. Now this could mean dipping in savings or using a credit card, but I would say if you do use a credit card, make sure you pay that off in full every time Amazon make a disbursement. You don't want to end up paying huge interest rates and losing money as a result. Now there's also times that Amazon will keep hold of some of those funds in what's known as a reserve account. So this just allows for any customer claims or any customer refunds. Now also it could be that your seller performance has fallen below the benchmark set by Amazon, so they've kept some of that money back just to protect themselves against any losses. They would probably expect that you're going to have a high level of returns and customer refunds. Now also your account could get suspended at any time. So imagine everything is going great, you're making great sales, you're getting great profit, and then out of the blue your account gets suspended. This is why it's so important to keep an eye on that account health. Keep those seller metrics as high as you can and do your very best to avoid any IP complaints. Now brands can issue with an IP complaint at any time and this could put your account at serious risk of suspension. Now if your account does get suspended, you're going to need to submit a plan of action to Amazon. Now this isn't always an easy task and you might even need to involve a third party to help you. Now whilst that account is under suspension, it's effectively placed on hold and you won't be able to do anything with it. So you won't be able to make any sales, you can't create any new shipments, and you can't request any money that's owed to you either. So you can't have any payments. Amazon will keep all of that money until that suspension is lifted. You need to be sure that you know exactly what you're doing when you submit that plan of action. So if you're just getting started on Amazon or you're considering a future in Amazon, just bear these few things in mind. So it's not as easy as people assume it is, it's not a quick get rich scheme, but you can make a lot of money if you're willing to work hard, put in the time and effort. This could be a great opportunity for you. Again, just remember that competition is tough, so you need to analyse every single item you buy, make sure you can compete and make sure you are still making a healthy profit. Now also remember that you won't have instant access to those funds, so just be sure that you have a plan with your cash flow going forward, you know exactly what you're doing. Now also remember to check for those IP alerts. You do not want your account being suspended, especially so early on. So that's just a few things you need to think about. Now, selling on Amazon is great, but there are potentially a few issues as well that you just need to be aware of. Now, being aware of these could make a big difference to how you run your business and how well you do. Now, if there is anything else you need to know, please do let me know. Pop a comment below or jump in our Facebook group. And that is all for today. So thank you as always for watching. Take care, and I'll hopefully see you soon.